Hello, everybody. This is Jennifer Jennings, your intuitive astrologer here in Nashville, Tennessee. Thank you so much for joining me for this energy update. We are looking at October 28th at 10:34 this morning in Nashville, Tennessee. And this morning, my family and I had paranormal experiences. And this is going to be common for those of you who are in tune, especially with Venus being at a 0 degrees. If you are in an initiating stage with Venus, then you are likely to obtain information that you really shouldn't discount as coincidence. With the sun in Scorpio, it rules the eighth house. And the eighth house is about what is hidden. It's a regenerating energy, even though Scorpio is a feminine fixed energy. It's definitely fixated on death, on the hidden, on other people's money. And the intensity of healing comes with the Scorpio, with the scorpion energy. So we have Mercury at a critical degree. We have Vulcan at a critical degree. And this is about balancing the love and the communications and really balancing the way that we express ourselves. And it's also showing us that there is a critical communication that is going on within the government. And we know that it is because as we gear up toward the election, everybody wants to win. So there's a critical need to discuss what is going on with the justice system, with the government. And there is communications that need to be taught that sets a new stage for the governing bodies. Harmony with communications is a must. It is a must right now. This Vesta energy is coming in up here. We can see that the Leo energy is critical. And so this is a public house with this takeover. So Leo intercepts this teaching house. And it's teaching us about our health, the communication of the health, and transforming the way that we talk about our health. And Vesta is at 2 degrees. This Vesta to me is not just the flame. She's not just the flame. She is the flame of the Christ consciousness. And with this Christ consciousness being in Virgo at a critical public degree, this is where this higher consciousness is coming in to teach us a little something, something. The higher truths, discovering the higher truths about the fanatical belief systems that are in the government. And these fanatical belief systems, these fanatical belief systems are not in a sharing type of truth being bestowed onto the world. So this is what we are intuitively receiving from the higher Christ consciousness, this keeper of the flame, the goddess of family. She's the worker that wants to have sanctified work, not like Saturn. She has the Saturn-like qualities, but this is not a governing. This is what is embedded. This is the self-sacrifice that we all make when we come into this earthly sphere of influence. And this Vesta energy is usually apparent at endings. It can be apparent with death, or just with regenerating your energy. And so it's wanting to teach us about the health, the mind, the body, and how these fanatical belief systems of the government can get sidetracked. They can definitely sidetrack us, they can distract us from what we truly are here to understand, which is the truth, the philosophical truths of the world, of this. It's critical that we understand that the distractions are affecting our health and that there is a perfectionist streak that is with this energy of Venus within the governing body, which is why their communications are very critical. And it's about the past too, because, Mercury is in retrograde. So there is a past balance that has to be sanctified with Vesta. And so being overly critical about the opponent, being overly critical about other people, being overly critical about the truth, the philosophical truths that are being conveyed to us on an intuitive level. Productive routine is seen here as well. And here we have the house of Scorpio with Hygeia at 11 degrees. And this is a public, it could be something going on within this government, this critical communication that is going to disrupt this house with our health. The hidden undercurrents of health may become public. It may become public with this intense experience that is coming upon us, and it's a psychic experience that will help our future values right here in this second house, because the anti-vertex is grounding us, and this is grounding us for the future. It's about the emotions. This is about the emotional health and realizing that the energy field of the body, the physical needs that we have, actually don't require an alchemical process with medicine. It's more of a mind over it's more of a mind over matter. It's more of using the sun, using what the sages have left for us to understand about our health, because the hidden undercurrents are very important. We need to look for what is hidden. And there is enlightenment that comes with this vertex of the psychic experience that we could have with Venus. And that's basically what happened with us this morning, for sure. For sure. Thank you, God. So when we are fulfilling this intensity, there's an innocence. There's an innocence to the energy that brings us a lot of joy and wants us to create. Just like this morning, it really, having the paranormal experiences with Skylar this morning, like it really made me want to create and show the energies that are around right now, because Leo reminds me of children too, and we lost Skylar with health issues of the magnetic field. And the magnetic field, has been changing. And the way that it's been changing is not just from the sun, it's from our activity. And the ancients understood that our activity definitely weighs in on the entire ecosystem. We are all connected down to the subatomic, the micro, macrocosm, like we are down to the quantum level. We are all connected in such a way that energies don't leave. They just transform into something different. And so these zero zeros that we have with Venus, the zero zero that we have with Cupid, the zero zero that we have with Lilith, have Venus. We have Venus coming at a square. So Venus is challenging the mastery of Cupid. And then we are going to a trine here from Cupid to Lilith right here. And as you can see, the joy of the earth as we are creating, I'm creating with this energy that the joy is coming with Uranus, with this higher consciousness, this higher octave of Mercury. So surrendering to the forces of nature is where we are finding our joy on earth right now. And this is true because I'm finding so much joy talking about this reflective, communicative house with the drive of the moon and with Neptune. This is eccentric. This is conventional. This is all about the earth and her resources and the fragility of the earth. And, talking to others is where we really reach this north node with the 17 degrees. The 17 degrees where we're using our intuition, we're bringing in the logic, the reasoning, and it doesn't have to weigh us down. It doesn't have to devour us. It can truly be a beautiful experience where we really connect and we let go of the mental burdens that just bring us down, just down into Hades, because the darkness is not dark. It only shows us the light. That is what the darkness is for, is to show the light. And then, I want to go back because Palace is this psychic energy as well, and it's in Capricorn. Jupiter at 20 degrees in Capricorn, Pluto at the 22 degree of Capricorn, Saturn 26 degrees of Capricorn. So all of these energies are mastering. These are master energies that are leading the pack of this transition that we are all in, an energy transition, because energy doesn't die. It transforms, it evolves, and it cannot just stay stagnant. It can't stay the same. We always are changing and evolving with this higher consciousness. And this is showing me that there is a divine feminine energy with the Scorpio. And this is great times to be alive, to be taught about energy. Pallas can be cut off. She's the wisdom seeker, and she is a lot like Uranus. Uranus is this fathering energy, this higher octave of Mercury, but so is Pallas. So if we really wanted to take it back into, trying to relate this to mythology, it would be, Adam and Eve and the serpent, or Prometheus and Epimetheus and Pandora. So we have these three initiates for mastering this energy. We're mastering Cupid, we're mastering Pallas, we're mastering the teacher to regenerate our energy, and there's limits that are being placed. This is feeling larger than life. This is about the government. This is about teaching the philosophical truths. Jupiter is also the attorney. Jupiter wants to make sure that everything is just and is going accordingly to a mastering energy because Capricorn is a mastering energy. So this Jupiter wants to make sure that this is going, that this governing body, because if the governing bodies are not for justice, they are not able to govern. Governing is about justice, what's right. And we're having a limit. There's limits placed on the value and the monetary. And as we move into the future, we're going to have to let go and transform with the way that we value one another. There's definite choices that are being made right now, personally, collectively, just needing really to explore the inner values and changing these old rundown structures that are not working, that does not provide a balance. That these old structures have to be replaced with ones that are enduring, ones that last. And Saturn is the mastering father that's slowing this government down. It's slowing this 10th house down because we have to develop better resources, the way that we conserve these resources should be responsible. And so there is critical talks today. There will be critical talks today about, and it may come public. It may come public today or within the next few days. There's an energy of the past, and it is a psychic energy. It is a warring energy. I see planes. We have a critical degree coming in with our communications as well, because what we see here is our future communication is being analyzed by the higher creative forces. There may be a couple of changes that will be reflected in our times past. It could provide some mental confusion, not sure what's going on, as the energies around are active, unsettled. Neptune in Pisces has an ability to be really close to God. There is an at one month. There is an at one month here. This is coming in with our future of being at one. We're definitely going to have to make some changes. The Sabian symbol is with this vernal point is a woman has risen out of the ocean and a seal is embracing her. And this Sabian symbol is two lovers strolling through a secluded walk. A master instructs his people. We also have our wound. So the wound is showing up here at home today with these energies that I'm seeing. So these energies are reflective of the warring past. It does bring empowerment. It brings dark emotions. that we really need to learn from. We really do need to learn that these dark emotions have a lot to do with our wound. And even though it's painful, we were rejected, we didn't feel like we belonged, we may have felt violated in some way. We may feel like we need to be compensated or we have to, there's a competition here, and it's bringing about a war at home about the past. Even though you may want your own independence, even though you may feel like your family at home doesn't understand, there is an initiation that is being had. And the warring can reflect back. The aggressive, the warness, the your attitude, your behavior definitely matters. And so the aggressiveness can bring about an accident. It can bring about a reflection back on you to where your magnetic field, once it gets really aggressive or gets upset with this discord with Eris, once this happens, then this comes out. This this rage, and there is so much rage that's being felt this morning with this psychic energy, and it really needs to be controlled. The behavior, it's not what other people are doing or what they're saying or how they've acted. This is a reflection of you. And for you to not be stubborn, to make positive changes, to come out of your comfort zone and use your words, use your pain to reflect what you want to see in the world. So if you feel like you have been beaten down, if you haven't been given a chance, if you are not worthy at home, then instead of imposing your will on others, you're being asked to really come to the table of this discord with Eris because, we've got brother and sister next to one another. So we've got Chiron, we've got Mars, and then we've got Aries. And so there's a wound to the ego, and it's about me, me, me. It's very emotional. Can be about the father. Could definitely be about the father because we are in opposition of the fathering house. Definitely need to face some truths because once you can face some of these deep, hidden, dark truths, it's like a wake-up call. It's like, hello, there becomes a better way to deal with these dark emotions here on earth. And these emotions right now, because all of the psychic energy, these dark emotions will affect home. It will affect the earth. Really need to see your behavior, this darkness in this type of light. And I'm not saying that, to not use this feminine power. There is a feminine power with Lilith. But what she does is she shows you the dark face. She shows you the volcanism that is rising with this anger, this intensity. And instead of running away, you're really asked to look at yourself in a better light and to not let this self-defeating behavior run your life. And, there's never going to be enough money. There's never going to be enough validation of who you are, where you've been, and how important you are. And it is not for other people to determine your worth. You determine the worth. You determine who you are and how important you are. So don't impose all of this strong ego on other people because then you're going to have it imposed on you. You definitely want to be what you want to see in the world and don't expect from other people what you're not willing to give. And you really have to look at this behavior, this dark behavior in the light. We are going to have to understand that's what the 0 0 is about. There's a beginning of us understanding that our magnetic field, that our energies definitely affect the earth herself. Between now and the end of, well, really the end of December, guys, just be aware. Work on your behavior. Work on understanding that everyone is a reflection of you. Everyone is a reflection of you. You are either being the teacher or you are being taught. Life is full of lessons. It's full of change, and we can't always be what we think we should be. We've got to be who we are, who we truly are in our essence, and understand that our health, that love, that the way that we speak to one another, how we heal one another, how we truly are connected in realms of experiences, and that we can transform our energy and we can be masters at it. And we can understand that this mental higher awareness can bring about great experiences that tell us about our health and the magnetic field in the earth and the way that we use the earth's resources and how connected we are. Of course, not to just to the earth. We are so connected to the sun too. All right, I'm going to shut up. I've got to stop. I could talk about this all day. But guys, just, really try to work on yourself this week. Work on yourself. Don't focus so much on other people. Really get down to the root of who you are and how you are going to show up in the world differently with this regeneration that we are being called on with love. All right. So until next time, you guys have a great day. See ya. Peace.